What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush. Let's talk Jets. Hope everybody's had an excellent week. Definitely been along with a Jets fan as they're 0-5 and one of the worst teams in football. And you're just disgusted, you're embarrassed, you're fed up. And that's kind of why I haven't done any content other than the streams. Nothing really to talk about, man. I'm not going to talk about next year's quarterback, next year's free agency, who should get fired. We still have 12 more games to go, man. And so I took a little step back. And now you're looking at Jets Broncos on Sunday, 9:30 in London. And obviously, they're a 7-point underdog, and rightfully so. They're one of the worst teams in football. Nobody in their right mind can pick the Jets because you have no idea what to expect out of them other than bad things. They're one of the worst penalized teams in football again. They're sloppy. They're turning the ball over. Their defense is an absolute disaster. They can't get sacks. They can't get turnovers. They can't tackle. They're blowing coverages. Offense are fumbling the ball, and you don't know who's going to be a wide receiver. Alan Lazard's out again. So it's just like, where do they go from here? And the one thing is, it's just like, at what point do they get fed up with losing? At what point do they feel embarrassed, where they don't want to be disrespected anymore? They want to stand up for themselves and be competitive. And it's not easy to do, but sometimes in times like this, when you're when you're dealing with all these trials and tribulations, sometimes you have to rise to the top and overcome it. And that comes from leadership. And the coaching can only do so much. Aaron Glenn can only yell at these guys so much, or Wilkes or whoever, Banjo, whoever it is. At some point, it comes down to the players. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to get out of this hole and stop being in this rut and actually win a friggin' football game? And that's where you see where you have captains. Are the captains making their mark, or maybe they shouldn't be the captain? It seems like the Jets have a lot of quiet leaders, these silent leaders. Sometimes you need that vocal guy. Like in the past, the Jets had those Bart Scotts or whoever it was, say Jim Leonard, or a variety of guys, Kevin Mawae, Curtis Martin, whoever. But they had guys, when they spoke, the locker room listened. And they led, C.J. Mosley's another one. They led by example. And they say, this is just not good enough. Follow my lead. And you got to ramp up the intensity. Like the one thing that stuck out to me last week in the Jets-Cowboys game is the Cowboys had one of the worst defenses in football. They were flying around the ball and beating the living shit out of the Jets. Big hits, passion, pride, energy. And that's what you wanted to see. Just think back to the preseason when they played against, I think it was the Packers, right? They had that energy and that pride. Like, I'm proud to be a Jet. I'm giving you max effort on every play. Where is that gone? Right now, it seems like they're waiting for that first sign of adversity for everybody to quit. Like, maybe next week. When does that mindset change? And why can't it be this week? And who is going to spearhead that? And this is like, maybe it's Garrett Wilson, but it's got to be somebody. And the guys that rise to the occasion now are the guys that you want to build with going forward. The guys that just kind of blend in and be like, well, you know what? This is just who we are. They're not the guys you want to build. You want to change your culture with. Now, I'm not saying Aaron Glenn's the right culture changer, but this locker room is far too used to losing. They're far too used to justifying it, making excuses, and they're complacent with it. And that has to change. You need that winning mindset here. You need that winning attitude. And the thing is, there's a lot of new players on this team that should be bringing it. Or guys that have been given that role that should be bringing it. Like a Jamie Sherwood. Quinnen Williams. These guys, like, you know what? You're guys that they're banking on you. Sauce Gardner to be a big difference maker here. Be that difference maker. Bring that edge day in and day out, and bring it on Sundays. Like, act like you want to be there. I'm tired of watching a team just doesn't care. After the first drive, they kick a field goal. Then and Justin Fields too. Justin Fields, it's like he's that guy he's that silent leader, but have some passion. Show it, man. You're playing for your NFL career as a starting quarterback. If it doesn't happen here, it's not going to happen at all. This is your chance where the Jets put a lot of faith in you to do something big. Earn it. Own it. Want it. Take shots downfield. Like, change it up. But at this point, the playoffs are not even in your mindset. You want to win a game. Let it all on the field. Leave it on the field now. So, for Sunday's game, obviously, I'm not making a prediction. I'm just saying I just want to see something at his team. Show some fight, man. The one thing that keeps going to the back of my mind is Aaron Glenn always says, like, we want to be a team that this team is proud of. We're not proud. We're embarrassed. And the players should be embarrassed, too. Actually, the coaches. Act like it. Want to change things. Not saying you have to go out and win the next 12 games, but wouldn't it be nice to see, look, and this getting this bad word, I'd be happy with a very, very hard-fought competitive loss. That's how bad things have gotten for me. Where I just want to be like, all right, you know what? Because we want to see progress. We want to see that this team cares and that the message from the coaching staff is actually getting through. And then like I said earlier, then you see who wants to be here for the long term or who is checking out. And the guys that are checking out, whoever they are, they can go to the trade deadline or the end of the season. So again, we'll see what happens. And I'll do a post-game show. It'll be, I think, at 1:30 on Sunday. If you guys want to join in, I definitely appreciate it. And hopefully we have something fun to talk about. Because I go, even on Ian's stream, man, like, oh man, you're that old miserable Jet fan. Because I've seen this too many times before, man, and I can't sugarcoat things. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna try to generate clicks. But well, maybe this guy's playing at an all-pro level. I'm not that guy, dude. I just call it like I see it, and this is what I believe. So now they have to start proving us wrong, and they have to earn our respect and earn our trust that they know what they're doing and they want it more than we think they do. Take care.